A real history. And they meet again, and the gloves are off.
Jr., an event presented by Celsius. For Jake Paul, it's a step towards his stated goal of becoming a world champion.
But the 10 count, have me out, no way.
Of course I can. I almost did.
Always feeling amazing, man. This is the part I love the most, these fight weeks, and getting to actually go in there under the lights and perform. I think it's going to be a great fight night, great stacked card, so the fans are going to win from this one.
Yeah, to stick in boxing, they spoke about this fight before, and I said, nah, it's a gimmick fight. It's not something that I think is
Talk
right.
has been part of the conversation, and we've always wanted to fight each other. There's been some shit talk back and forth for a couple of years, and my goal is to become world champion, and the WBA and WBC plan on ranking me depending on my performance, and once I'm ranked, then I can go for the title shot. And he's a formidable opponent, former world champion. It's a great test, 10 rounds to get ready for what ultimately will be a
submission, stand up, better at kicking. So when he fights, he's fighting people that have aspects that are good in every category.
Fight him. I've always wanted to fight legendary names in the sport. His dad is one of the best to ever do it. I like building my resume, having the best looking box rec of all time. Mike Tyson, Tyron Woodley, Anderson Silva, the list goes on. And so just adding a Chavez name to my box rec is just really exciting.
Joe and his father were pretty dismissive of your abilities. Did you feel that way? And do you think they are maybe looking past what you can do in the ring?
Definitely underestimating me. This is going to be the toughest fight of his career, the most embarrassing fight of his career. He's going to be exposed. He's going to realize he's easy work, and I don't even think him and his team know what's going on. You know, his head coach over here is like, oh yeah, we watched Jake. He has 7 pro fights. And I think these guys don't know what they're getting themselves involved in. And I see the sparring partners they're bringing in, and it's just no one that can match what I'm capable of in the ring. And it's going to be a very upsetting.
At the Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul face-off, Joshua is sending a strong message. He says, I have to win, and explains boxing like snakes and ladders, where you go up if you win and you slide down if you lose. Every word shows how serious and focused he is for this fight.
I have to win, and when I win, I'll move on to fighting for the championship. That's boxing, snakes and ladders. You win, you go up, you lose, you slide down. So I have to win in order to continue on where I project.
Jake Paul is giving Anthony Joshua full respect. He says Anthony Joshua is a great fighter and explains that when Anthony Joshua locks in and is prepared, he is very dangerous. Jake Paul highlights that Anthony Joshua has been doing this his whole entire life and calls him his most experienced fighter to date.
He's a great fighter, you know, when he locks in, when he's prepared, he's been doing this his whole entire life. He has a ton of experience, my most experienced fighter to date.
Anthony Joshua is explaining that his fight strategy is more than just strength. He talks about how he uses his brain to process what he needs to process and focuses on doing what is required in the moment. Anthony Joshua says he will do his best in it and then see what happens. This shows a calm but confident mindset where intelligence and timing are just as important as power. He is not relying on brute force alone. Every word emphasizes that Anthony Joshua is thinking ahead, planning his moves carefully, and approaching the fight with control and focus.
That I carry, it's the brain. I'll process what I need to process, I'll do what I need to do, and I just do my best in it. We'll see what happens.
Eddie Hearn highlights the unique status of Anthony Joshua in boxing today. He explains that nobody competes on the level of Anthony Joshua, not only because of his ability, but also because of his drawing power. Eddie Hearn reminds everyone that Anthony Joshua won the Olympic gold medal in London, and that was a remarkable start to an extraordinary career. The words show that Anthony Joshua is not just another fighter, he is a global figure in the sport. Hearn emphasizes the combination of skill and reputation, showing why Anthony Joshua is a major force inside and outside the ring.
I don't see anybody ever competing on the level of AJ, not in terms of ability, but just draw. We've never seen it before. But don't forget, AJ won the Olympic gold in London. It's a hell of a start.
Adi Oladipo gives a vivid picture of Anthony Joshua's sheer power and presence in the ring. He calls Anthony Joshua a live 260L behemoth and says he has detonators in both hands capable of serious damage. Oladipo recalls being ringside for 15 of Anthony Joshua's fights and how dangerous his right hand is. The knockout of Francis Ngannou shows that even fighters who had never been knocked down before are at real risk against Anthony Joshua. Comparing Canelo and Anthony Joshua, Oladipo points out that Anthony Joshua's power is on another level. His words make it clear that stepping into the ring with Anthony Joshua is an extreme challenge.
This is a live 260-pound behemoth who has detonators in both hands, who can seriously hurt you. I've been ringside 15 of AJ's fights. When he lands that right hand, it's a problem. It's a big problem.
Just ask Francis Ngannou. That was a scary knockout. You were right there. I was right there. He didn't get up, and this is a guy who had never been knocked down before.
Gonna fight Canelo, but even that, there's Canelo, who's, and there's AJ in terms of power. Like the jump from Canelo to AJ is astronomical. So look, I don't think it's a good idea, but pounds and pence and dollars and...
Simon Jordan explains why Anthony Joshua taking on a YouTuber fight makes sense in the context of entertainment. He emphasizes that Anthony Joshua is not just a boxer but an entertainer who has already won the World Heavyweight Championship twice and fought in some incredible bouts. Jordan points out that this fight is part of the business side of boxing where big names engage fans in new ways. Anthony Joshua's willingness to step into this matchup shows his versatility and understanding of the sport beyond the ring. His career achievements make it clear he can handle both serious fights and entertainment-driven events.
December 2025, Anthony Joshua will fight a YouTuber. This is the entertainment business, and Anthony Joshua is an entertainer, and you can't undo the fact that he won the World Heavyweight Championship twice, and he fought in some great fights.
So why does he need this?
Because he's in the business of entertainment. And
Derek Chisora talks about the entertainment value of the Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul fight. He calls it a great fight for entertainment and says it might even end quickly as a one-round spectacle. Chisora predicts that Jake Paul will be overconfident entering the ring because of his perception from Daniel's fight, but Anthony Joshua is ready to show his full skill. Chisora emphasizes that Anthony Joshua can easily handle this fight and put Jake Paul away. The commentary highlights Anthony Joshua's superiority in power, skill, and experience while framing the matchup as an entertaining event for fans.
So we need to build entertainment, and right now, this is a great fight for entertainment for us right now.
A one-round entertainment. Surely that doesn't go past one round.
We never know. You never know. But you know what? As I said yesterday, Jake Paul will be so confident to get into this fight, because after you watch Daniel Dubois fight, you think you can do exactly what Daniel did.
Yeah.
So listen, I'm up for this fight to happen, and I want to see AJ just put it.
Jake Paul is speaking about the fight with Anthony Joshua and shows that he enjoys the challenge despite the obvious risk. He mentions that people think he should fight someone in their prime who is a beast, but he sees the bigger picture and knows this fight will test him. Jake Paul admits that a lot of people just want to see him lose, but he is not backing down. He calls fighting Anthony Joshua an insane fight and clearly wants the challenge. He even explains that they have been communicating directly, sending DMs back and forth, and that Anthony Joshua is serious about making this fight happen. This shows Jake Paul's confidence, but also highlights how massive Anthony Joshua's presence is in this matchup.
And so I like the challenge. People, that's the criticism. Fight someone in their prime who's a beast. I think people just want to see me lose. That's really what the message is behind it all. And Anthony Joshua is an insane fight, but I want that challenge. We've been DMing back and forth. He wants to make it happen.
Tony Bellew warns about the risks for Jake Paul in a fight against Anthony Joshua and calls the matchup a gross mismatch. He explains that Jake Paul's health could be in serious danger and that the fight is outright dangerous. Bellew describes the situation as ludicrous and insane because stepping into the ring with Anthony Joshua puts a fighter at extreme risk. He stresses that Jake Paul is prioritizing money over his safety and calls it absolutely insane. Tony Bellew's commentary underlines Anthony Joshua's power and experience as a massive threat. The words make it clear that this is not just entertainment. It is a real test of skill and courage against one of the best heavyweights in the world.
in the ring.
It's just a
throwing
gross mismatch.
Yeah.
Like, you don't understand his health is in jeopardy. So I'm not even entertaining it. I just think it's dangerous. And listen, I might have to work it, but it's just...
It's kind of ludicrous, isn't it, really?
It's insane. This boy is nuts. Is nuts. And I think he's putting his life before he's putting his life before money.
Johnny Nelson gives a realistic perspective on why someone might take a fight with Jake Paul at this stage in their career. He explains that the financial reward from fighting Jake Paul is a major factor, saying there is more money there. Nelson admits that if it were a real competition in terms of skill, he would not take the fight because the challenge is not comparable. He praises Jake Paul for the way he has built his career and calls his work amazing. Nelson's commentary highlights that Anthony Joshua is in a different league in terms of skill and experience, but he acknowledges the entertainment and financial aspect that makes the fight attractive to certain fighters.
I would stage it at this stage of his career. I take Jake Paul. I take Jake Paul because there's more money there. If it was real, I don't think it's real. I think it's bullshit. I think Jake Paul I think it's bullshit. I think it's Jake Paul has done an amazing...
Derek Chisora talks about the fight between Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua and makes it very clear that Anthony Joshua's power is on another level. He says that whatever happens in the fight will be exciting, but warns that Jake Paul does not have the power to knock out Anthony Joshua. Chisora imagines the fight ending very quickly and predicts that Jake Paul could end up in an ambulance if he underestimates Anthony Joshua. His commentary emphasizes the danger of stepping into the ring with a world-class heavyweight. He highlights Anthony Joshua's strength and skill while warning fans and fighters that this is a serious matchup where overconfidence could lead to disaster for Jake Paul.
Whatever happened to be exciting?
Does he have the power to knock out Joshua?
No, he hasn't got the power to knock out Joshua.
How does that fight end?
Jake Paul going to an ambulance, bro.
What can we...
Duke McKenzie talks about the fight between Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua and explains that from a financial point of view, it might seem easy for Anthony Joshua. He says that Anthony Joshua could take the fight, earn $100 million, and not even break a sweat. McKenzie points out that while the fight will not enhance Anthony Joshua's status as the world's #1 contender, the risk for Jake Paul is huge. If Anthony Joshua lands a serious punch, it could hurt Jake Paul badly and even send him to the hospital. The commentary highlights the imbalance in experience and power between Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul, while showing why this fight is more about money than competitive stakes.
He's his fight of his career. If he wants to get 100 million and not even break sweat, you know, you take the fight. Is it going to enhance his stock as the world's #1 contender? Not at all, because nobody's going to take Jake Paul seriously. But on the other hand, I don't even want to play devil's advocate. What if Joshua hurts this guy, seriously hurts this guy, and puts this guy in...
Tommy Fury gives a very strong opinion on the fight between Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua. He explains that if he himself has a chance against Jake Paul, then Anthony Joshua would be far more dangerous. Fury recalls what his father said about Anthony Joshua's dominance and fully agrees with it. He even says that even if Anthony Joshua had a broken arm, the fight would not last a minute. The words make it very clear that Anthony Joshua's skill, power, and experience are far beyond anything Jake Paul can handle. Tommy Fury's commentary underlines the extreme challenge Jake Paul faces and shows why fans are expecting a one-sided fight with Anthony Joshua clearly in control.
But if I can beat Jake Paul, then excuse my French, what the fuck is Anthony Joshua going to do to Jake Paul? I think my dad said that AJ could beat him with his prick, and I completely will back that up. Even if AJ had a broken arm in there, it still wouldn't go.
The fight between Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul is shaping up to be one of the most talked about matchups of the year. Anthony Joshua brings unmatched experience, Olympic gold, and world championship wins, while Jake Paul brings confidence and a growing fan base. Anthony Joshua has shown in every interview and statement that he is focused, powerful, and mentally prepared for this challenge. Jake Paul may have the courage to step into the ring, but Anthony Joshua's strength, skill, and intelligence in boxing make him the overwhelming favorite. Fans are divided between entertainment and genuine competition, but there is no denying the danger Jake Paul faces against a true heavyweight like Anthony Joshua. This fight is about legacy, power, and proving who belongs at the top. Are you backing Anthony Joshua to dominate, or do you think Jake Paul can pull off the upset? Drop your thoughts below.